Good morning, everybody. It's another wonderful Sunday, and I'm heading to the church, and I'm going to take you along with me. I think last time when I tried to record what was actually going on in church, my GoPro kind of conked out on me. So what I'm going to do in this video is just show you what I do, at least when from a media ministry standpoint, from getting everything set up all the way through running a successful service and tackling any hiccups, if we have any, throughout the day. I actually got my drone with me, so I might actually do some early flying to get some new footage of the church with the sun right. I'll probably say it's past golden hour, but still some good time to get a shot. And I noticed a bump right on my face. But anyway, let's get going. Alright, I'm here at church, and normally for the most part, I'm normally the first one that's here. So I'm going to walk through everything, as well as kind of do a site inspection on everything. We've just been having a couple of issues with our equipment, so I just want to spot check. I think like the amps that go in the back of the church, they overheated and shut off in the middle of revival because it had got so hot and the doors were closed, so there was no circulation of all. So I just like to walk around and kind of spec out everything. And the way I'm feeling right now, normally I would fly right now because as you can see, there's nobody here except for two people there. That's one of the two of the deacons, and I believe the sexton is here and the pastor is here. But again, most people don't show up until around, even though Sunday school starts at 9, most people show up at 9:05. I think that's kind of typical in some churches, unfortunately. So let's go ahead but let me go back to what I was saying. What I'll probably do is get out here right before service ends, or right when service ends, and fly over and get video of people coming in. Leaving. What I've always wanted to do is set up and actually do a time lapse of people coming into the church, but I just haven't had a chance to set up to actually do that. So anyway, let's shut everything off and let's go in. So normally turn that TV on, and the project of putting the buttons out here is not done yet. We still got some more things to do. Alright. So typically what we normally do is flip this on, turn on the projectors. I come back and log into that. The soundboard is on. This computer was left on from when I remoted in, so I'm just rebooting that one. Turn on the back camera and the remote. Viewfinder pops up. Let's power on the new TV that we installed for our multi-view. And our static camera is on because remember when we set up the TP-Link smart stuff, the smart plug under here, this camera was going to be turned on at 6 a.m. So this was already on. This one computer was left on because I was trying to install DaVinci Resolve, which I still need to finish and do. Let's kick that off. While I was doing that, we turn on the front Canon G20, that's up there, and then we turn on the Panasonic, and this one doesn't save the settings, so we zoom in. Normally I have this one staying on this podium down there, but for whatever reason a lot of people up here will use this camera as another angle for whoever's preaching. And now I'll work my way down. Now we're heading back. So the system has rebooted, so let's log into here. Now for whatever reason, when this is plugged into the ATEM, it doesn't always show up over here. but it did. And the reason why is, if this has been on, it's almost like you unplug the monitor from it. And then when you turn on the ATEM, it just doesn't know what to do. So normally, I just come in here, and this is the cable that goes to the ATEM. You just pull that out and plug it back in, and then it will show up. But today it is showing up, so don't really have to worry about that. Now we just have to turn on this left camera. But let's log into our live streaming system here. Let me turn that setting off. Camera. This is the original cameras that we started with. These are the Handycam CX230s. And this one is stationary on the left podium. Now we turn the amps on, which has a relay back here, right there, kind of dirty. But what that does is it turns on all of these, the wireless mics, the equalizer, the amps for outside speakers, ceiling speakers, under the balcony, center, top, everything. And then it also turns on the amps that are in the back, as you just heard the pop. Now, one other thing we do is, because our projectors are old and they're dying, is I gotta crank up the brightness on here to max, and even then it still looks kind of dark. Alright, now we're gonna bring up our live stream. Now I have a whole lot more time since I got here early. I want to make sure that the feed is coming through. So again, I have our ATEM connected over network, so you can control it from anywhere. So it's on a static cam, but the image is not showing up for whatever reason. I just close that and open it right back up, and then this signal comes through. Oh, I have it pointed from HDMI from yesterday. So anyway, so the camera feed is working from the ATEM. We switch it back to that. I already updated the code here to point to Vimeo. Now I added the church to my business Vimeo account, so I should have access to the live stream now, which I am. I'm logged in as the church. We go to our live events. Here's the church service, where we added the chat function, so that if people want to start, you see it's there. I just want to make sure that the destination is also going to our church page, which is not. So we just got to check that off, and it will send. I'm unauthorized for this action. Okay, so I'm gonna have to log into my main account to change this. Alright, so I guess the account that I had, even though I set it as an admin, it didn't have permission, so I had to log into my personal account and make this change so that it will publicize on our church page. Alright, so let's go ahead and alright, and I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to show the code, but let me just do this. So we already have the code embedded, so once the live stream is up, this will show change. Now with Vimeo, this has to be active for some odd reason for it to engage the live stream. So I'm just going to leave this up minimized, and whenever we start, we'll be good to go. So now, my keys. That's the live stream. Let's go ahead and bring up Pro Presenter, because that's what we're still using. And I'm going to move over the video announcements that we played. And I don't know why it keeps doing this. Open with. I don't like that groove player, and it keeps resetting. Alright, so we need to move this over to here. Now, if there's one thing that I would improve on it, why do you keep putting this stuff all in the way? What I'd like to do is double the memory. The reason I don't have enough memory is because, as you can see, the CPU fan blocks that other DIMM slot. So I would want to double the memory to 16 gigs of memory instead of 8, and then change out this CPU fan to maybe a Be Quiet or a Cooler Master, one that stands up and blows air out this way through the open vent, which will free up this other slot to give it more memory capacity. Alright, so we're here, and again, we're doing our birthdays today. Since it's the second Sunday, I come over here to the newsroom and we just drag over the new announcements here, and then we delete the old. I just want to make sure it plays. And then set our audio to make sure it's feeding through. So that's the audio that's muted right now. So we know that works. Alright. So another thing, we're going to right click on this. We're going to go to Media Properties and the gear. And we want to not loop. We want once it plays through once, it just stops. Alright. That's it. Now we need to get our music loaded in here as well. So let me open up the email and make sure that everybody submitted what they were supposed to. And while this is up, I need to switch this off to something static, which normally are the generic announcements that we have just looping over and over again. So I'll start that here in a second. So I need to see if they submitted our music, and then I'm just going to put the opening hymn and everything in the schedule for today. Alright, so we got our opening hymn. We just drag that here to our layout, and we already got it there. Straight verses, no chorus. Now I need to find out what the scripture is and place it in there, and then this is all set up. Now we're down to the camera. That's fine. What I like to do is make sure we don't have the shot of the projectors in there. So let me just bring that down just a little bit. As you can see, all of our inputs are showing up fine. And I need to finish installing DaVinci Resolve. And then there's our front camera. Zoom that out a little bit, and again, I try not to have any of the cameras in the shot as well as none of the projectors in the shot. Alright, so while that's working, why is that picture so dim? Let's see, menu. Vivid. Alright. I need to check why that picture looks that way. I might need to unplug that and recalibrate it when I get a chance. Alright, so I'm charging all my stuff here for my tablet, for my drone, my GoPro. Hopefully it'll be recording this time. And it's not charging. Awesome. Alright, I know it's working. Maybe I need to change the cable. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. That way you don't miss out on other great videos like this one. Alright, so now that this is all set up, let's close the email, close this, and we're going to go live with this, and then we're going to do our announcements, which is just some drone footage, and then it just loops through some of the basic stuff that we have. So here on the ATEM, let's switch to CPU, and now that's what shows up here is the same thing. So this is pretty much just acts like another output of what the projectors up there are doing. So my GoPro is not charging. I think that's because of the cable. This is my cable that came with my Mavic my Mavic 2. So I'm just going to switch out to another standard USB-C cable. I don't know why that wouldn't work, but let me go grab that out the car. Oh, and while I'm doing that, let me grab some rechargeable batteries to change out the wireless mics. Alright, and then there's the back wall. I need to adjust that projector because it's kind of off center. Alright, just a closer look at, I still forgot to move that there. So this is our G20 that's on a custom Servo City arm, and at the time this was actually cheaper for a pan, tilt, and zoom type of solution. But as of now, if I had it to do again, I would use the Ada Imaging PTZ, which has this all built in, and honestly, combined with what we pay for this, the PTZ is still cheaper than that combined. There's the Marshall CV500, as you can see in comparison just how small and tiny that thing is. Alright, and then I ran this line-in jack for the praise dancers, so if they ever needed to have music and they didn't have it here in time, they could just plug it into here and it would play through the system. But for whatever reason, I've had two cables here and both of them have mysteriously disappeared. So as of right now, there's no way for anybody to plug into that. Alright, so everything is set up. Batteries are changed up. I didn't turn on the software down here. So this is just the main switching, so they will be handling this. Here's the connection to the HyperDeck so we can record. So this is the main setup of what they have here. Alright, so I'm in the back of the sanctuary, and we'll go here to the back where the other amps are. Alright, so as you see, that's where all the cables come through, and it feeds up to here to our snake for controlling a bunch of other amps for the subwoofers and for the choir, all of the mics, so they can route it through a Ethernet cable back to the media booth. And this is the one that shut off because it overheated back here. So really nothing major to plug in, so I could change out one of these outlets to a smart outlet and it would at least power this up. Now that won't be for the relay, but at least it will be there. So in my what would I do with $1,000 video, I pretty much said that I would change out the add a different modulator in here so that the broadcast is going through the coax throughout the entire church will actually be in HD. So a lot of people haven't been over here to check this out, so what I want to do is switch on the TV. This is an older TV, so for me to switch in between the channels, I actually have to come in here. Wait a minute, gotta change the source. There we go. That first. Then I gotta go from air to cable. And then it's set to channel 40. Oh, they have it unplugged. That would be the reason. So for whatever reason, even though it's plugged in, the signal is not coming from the sanctuary. So let's search for this again. So again, my thought to avoid this is to do like that A300 and mount it behind the TV, and it would just be a different HDMI input, and it's gonna avoid all of this, because I don't know, I've rewired this so many times. I don't know if somebody came behind it, hooked it up wrong or whatever, but the NDI solution would solve this. Plus the computer is more than fast enough to handle it now. But if I went with that HDMI modulator, that would fix all the TVs here in the area. So that would be my desired path to go if I had a choice. All right, so it looks like that didn't work. Something was changed, so I'm gonna have to walk through and try and figure that out at a later time. But no one has really been asking for that right now. But let me actually just spot check it while I'm here. This is our impromptu network rack, and I need to clean up all of this. I know a lot of this, I added the new stuff up here, and our router and everything like that I've changed out. I want to get a proper rack to have this all enclosed and cut off some of these old cables. All these cables are set up that all of the new additions was set up as if everything was using telephone. So that's what makes it really easy to re-terminate this stuff for internet. But this room is shared, so sometimes I just got to make sure everything is not touched, nothing hasn't been disconnected or powered off by mistake. Alright, so that was a little bit more than what I normally would do, but that's just spot checking everything, making sure everything is going to be working, so if anybody is anywhere else in the building, they can actually see what's going on. Now, when I turned on the TV in the Northex, where you just saw me hold a remote, that works on the same setup that's supposed to be powering the TV on the other side. So it's something in between here and there that's causing the problem, because that TV wouldn't have shown up. Now that I think about it, let me go ahead and check on the security cameras, make sure everything is working with that as well too. Now, this isn't media ministry, but like I said, I'm like the IT person here for the church, so they ask me for a lot of stuff, so I'm just spot checking this stuff as well too. Oh, see, there's some troublemakers right there. Damn it! All right, so actually it's not showing up, so maybe there is something upstairs that needs to be fixed. Maybe the power isn't on for something. So let's check it out. That's what this is, and it looks like it's off. So let's check what that is and then recheck all the TVs again. All right, so it was actually unplugged. That's why it wasn't coming up. So let's check those TVs again. All right, that was it. So let's work our way back over to the other TV and reset it up again. All right, so now let's switch back to cable. Channel 40. There we go. Alright, so the only issue is sound is not working. I think that's something different, but at least we got the picture in there. So it wasn't that anybody changed anything except for me. I just didn't have I missed replugging in that one box. Alright, so it is 9:45, so we went ahead and started a live stream. It's already showing up on our web page. Let me just open it up. Alright, so that's Vimeo is showing up there. Alright, so I won't be recording that much right now just because of copyrighted music, but we're going to get ready to get started with everything here in service. So we're just waiting for everybody to get in, praise and worship to start, and then actually I'm going to be here, start recording on our hyperdeck. episode. It's going to record the entire service. This is the clean cut compared to what's going to be live streamed. All right, so we're here, started. Now we're live. That's what's being broadcast. That's our preview, where it's going to go to. And I don't know why the labels are off like that, but I'll go fix that here in a second. Now, while I'm doing this, I really need to be cautious of when editing afterwards of where the placement of lower thirds and things like that would be with our shots. So that's what's in my mind while I'm doing this, but at the same time being aware that are people online watching this. All right, so we're going to be bringing up the lyrics here in a second with this by using the DSK 1 or 2. That's how I have it configured right now. There I am. Alright, as you can see. So we're about halfway through service right now. We're at scripture, and then pretty much I think it's like a couple of songs left, then the word, and been monitoring everything as well as I go back on our social media as well as Facebook and the website, just commenting back to anybody who is chatting on our live stream. Alright, everything is set up. I got this, so I'm now getting ready to go outside and go set up with the drone so I can catch everybody coming outside. And that's about it. So finished the church post-production. I'm actually editing the vlog for today that was done, and this is the closing for that. So anyway, I hope you liked this longer video than usual of what I actually do behind the scenes on a typical Sunday. Well, actually it wasn't typical because of all the stuff we did and ran into, but this is what goes in behind the scenes to make sure everything is running smoothly from a live streaming perspective, as well as a typical service, or to be able to watch the service online or at different parts of the sanctuary or in the sanctuary itself. So anyway, I hope you like this type of content. If you do, make sure you hit that like button, consider subscribing, and we will see you on tomorrow's vlog video. And I have some other videos that I'm working on that you'll be coming out with pretty soon. Oh, and also let y'all know that my book is actually gonna come out next Sunday. It is, instead of it being available on the 30th, it's actually going to be available on the 18th on Kindle. Link is in the description, and the paperback version is going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm just waiting for Amazon to finish the review, and then once that's done, you'll see the link for the book on the exact same link that's in the description. Anyway, we will see y'all on the next video, guys. Later.